Hey guys, in this book review, I'm going to be reviewing Alias Hook by Lisa Jensen. Alias Hook is an imaginative retelling of J.M. Barrie's Peter Pan, focusing on its infamous villain, Captain Hook. After having an affair with a Caribbean woman, Hook is cursed to live in the Neverland, a world that is ruled by a ruthless and cunning boy, who will stop at nothing to play games and wage war. Hook is cursed to live hundreds of years without aging, without dying, while those around him die under the hands of Peter Pan. But one day, an unheard of thing happens. A grown woman arrives in the Neverland. This woman will either be Hook's destruction or his ultimate redemption to break his curse. This book was so freaking good, you guys! I loved it so much. This is how a retelling of Peter Pan should be. Over the summer, I had read Tiger Lily by Jodi Lynn Anderson, and I was massively disappointed with that book. I just felt like the magic and appeal of Neverland and J.M. Barrie's characters were so lacking. And Lisa Jensen, wow, she really knew how to craft this story and really deal with how the characters of Peter Pan should be dealt with. Alias Hook has everything that you love about the original story. You got pirates, you got Peter Pan, you got the crocodile, you got fairies, you got mermaids, etc. Everything you can imagine about Peter Pan is pretty much in this book in some fashion. And what I really enjoyed was how, J.M. Barrie's two primary characters were handled in this adaptation. In the original story, Peter Pan is the good guy, Captain Hook is the bad guy, and what's great about Lisa Jensen's retelling is that those roles are totally reversed. Lisa Jensen took what was so great about J.M. Barrie's novel and expanded upon it, but she also took her own creative licenses here and there without totally ruining what you loved about this book as a child. Traditionally, any retelling involving Peter Pan typically takes place during the Victorian era, but what I really liked about Jensen's narrative was that she pushed it up to the 1950s. So pretty much everything that happened in J.M. Barrie's novel has already happened. So this book is kind of like the aftermath of some of that. So this book jumps around in narrative quite often. Sometimes we'll see flashbacks to Hook's youth, like right at the very end of the 1600s, and then kind of into the early 1700s as he's a young man. So we'll get a lot of pre-Neverland Hook. But then there's also Neverland Hook, prior to the actual events that occur in the present in this book. I really liked this tactic that Lisa Jensen took. Rather than telling a straightforward A to B to C narrative, I liked that the narrative kind of jumped in and out of different time eras. It just made the novel, I think for me, a bit more quicker and more interesting, rather than getting all of the answers all at once. I think the pre-Neverland and the early arrival at Neverland are some of my most favorite parts of this book. Pre-Neverland Hook is a very witty and educated and rather flamboyant guy, and he's totally a ladies' man. So he's very young and carefree, and it's once he's cursed to the Neverland where he kind of loses a lot of that about him, and he becomes rather brooding and much more dark. And he has like this whole thing going on that he wants a death wish, since he can't age or die. I tell you what, one of the best flashbacks in this book was definitely when we learn how Hook got his hook for a hand. You guys, that was an absolutely chilling and breathtaking chapter, and it kind of went to some places I wasn't expecting. So yeah, I'm not going to spoil how Hook got his hand, but wow, that part is definitely the best part of the book, I think. As for the other main character in this book, that would be Stella Parrish, who is the grown woman who comes into the Neverland. I really liked Stella Parrish. I felt like she was a really strong heroine, a nice counterbalance to Hook. Like I said, this book takes place in the 1950s, so Stella, she has lived through World War II, and she's had her own battles with her past, and some things have happened, and there's reasons why she has come to the Neverland. There was actually something about Stella that reminded me quite heavily of Claire Randall from Diana Gabaldon's Outlander series. So if I had to kind of compare her to somebody, it would be that character. What's great about Stella is that she's educated and witty, and she's just so fun, and she just lets Hook know exactly what is on her mind. She doesn't care what his opinion is. So Stella kind of becomes a really great, encouraging, powerful presence in Hook's life, which I loved. And like I've already suggested of Peter Pan is the antagonist, and he is a wild, little, crazy, mischievous boy. Oh my god, he gave me chills. He was genuinely very frightening. I don't know how many of you guys have watched the TV series Once Upon a Time, but if you watched season 3 with the whole Neverland and Peter Pan arc, I think you will really like this novel in particular, especially with how Hook and Peter Pan are handled. Overall, this was a terrific novel. I enjoyed it immensely. I think the only problems I kind of had with it was that I really loved the first half a lot. It was so well written, so well developed. I felt like Lisa Jensen took her time in telling the narrative, but I felt like once it reached the second half of the novel, it felt like things got a bit hectic and things were kind of explained very quickly, and I felt like some of that beautiful writing was kind of lacking a bit. This book has just everything. It has action, adventure, romance, drama, comedy. It's just all there. So yeah, if you enjoy retellings of Peter Pan, if you enjoy historical fiction, this book is definitely for you. So that's it for this book review. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this book review, you may like these other book reviews. Bye guys.